I was just thinking that the most difficult part of making any video is the beginning part. For some reason, I kind of struggle to get started, but then after a while, I just start talking and it becomes easier. And so instead of doing my usual, hi, I hope you're doing well, I decided to do something different. And it actually seems to be working well because it's getting me out of the pattern. Ultimately, what I wanted to talk about today is my channel and how it's evolved throughout the years. It began as a channel where I did a lot of teaching videos, and I do still love doing teaching videos. But after a while, I started getting very deep into the transits and the moon cycles and those types of things. And I love doing that as well. And so it's expanded to places where I hadn't planned to ever go. I never planned to do transits right from the beginning. I just basically wanted to share human design with as many people as could find the information, find my channel. I mean, I've been talking about this for a while. Pluto's been going through gate 60, and I've been talking about the changes that were coming, and the changes have arrived. And I think it's very obvious to most people that the changes have arrived. It is a time where a lot of people don't know what's happening anymore. It's very unusual. We have lived in peaceful times for the most part. You know, if you look at World War I and World War II, I mean, those were different times than what we've had to live with or what we've lived with since then. And so it's been a while. And now we're in a different world. And I'm not saying that we're going into a war or anything like that. That's not what I'm trying to say. But I am saying that we are in the time of decrease. And Pluto in gate 41 is decrease. And it is the most obvious thing in the world that you can see. There's a decrease in connections with people around the world. There's a decrease in understanding. There's a decrease in so many things. But we know that a decrease always means that we're getting rid of something old so that we can have new growth. That's the whole point of decrease. So there's a lot of things that are tired and old and they need to be done with. And this is what is happening. Now we know that change is not easy. Although we all say, I want change, but I want change on my terms. I want change to be easy. And we know change is not easy. And so we could look at this as a birth of something new. And having had three children, I know that there's a lot of pain that goes with a birth, and you eventually get something beautiful out of it. And we could say that this is what's happening. That doesn't make it easy, but it does make it part of a cycle. We know that it's a brand new cycle, especially for Pluto. And it's a brand new cycle for me as well, because suddenly I feel like I need to start talking about the things that I've been studying for so many years. Not only have I looked at the transits and talked about standard human design, those types of things, but I've always been looking at other things like global cycles, cosmology, rave cosmology, history, those types of things, and studying them a lot. And I can see all the changes that are happening in the world that were predicted to happen. And this is not about, soothsaying or fortune telling or anything like that. It's just saying that, sometimes we have messages or we have things that come into the world that are here to help us. Some people use religion, some people use spirituality, some people use so many different things. There's a multitude of different things that you can use, but ultimately, whatever you use is up to you. But for me, human design explains so much about the world. And what I want to do going forward is I want to continue to get into topics about what's happening in the world. And I did try to do this a couple of years ago, but it felt like it wasn't the right time. But now I know it's the right time. And I know that it's not time for me to sit on the fence anymore and kind of, want to talk about it, but not really want to because you don't want to offend anybody or you don't want to get, whatever. So I'm going to be as easy as I can and talk about the things, the transits, all the types of things that I can see happening in the world. I think that bringing it into a position where we can see what's happening in the world, but also see the transits and sort of the change of the global cycle, those types of things. I did a couple of videos, and that was sort of me trying to allow people to see the energy is matching up with the global cycle changes. And for me, being informed about what might happen is very helpful. And I think that there are other people in the world who are like me who like to know as opposed to just have things come at you and you don't have an idea. So if I imagine or I see that this might happen, something might happen, And when I see it happen, that makes me feel at ease because at least I know. It doesn't mean it's easy, but it just means that I have some understanding of it potentially happening in my world. The other perspective is that, not everybody wants to talk about what's happening in the world because there's enough of it. You live in a life and you're out there and you're kind of doing your world things and you just want something different. And I get that too. And so in that respect, because I like to do different things, I have an open G, so that makes me want to do more than one thing. And human design provides that opportunity. Well, the other opportunity that I want to open up is to start looking at ways that we can empower ourselves. And this is about self-empowerment. This is not about anybody else empowering us. Self-empowerment gives us almost like an armor to move through the world with ease in some ways because you have an ability to understand that you're just fine the way you are. You have every right to be who you are. And it gives you this type of strength. So you don't take potentially the things that maybe you've taken before from people, interactions. You believe that you deserve to have good things. And because of that, you won't accept other things. And this isn't about being narcissistic. This isn't about taking from others so that you can have more. This is just about being empowered with who you are and just being yourself. I've said that so many times over the years. I know like I'm like a broken record, but I think that it's one thing to be able to say that we want to be more empowered, to have self-love, to be okay with ourselves, to say, yeah, I'm okay the way I am and I'm not perfect, but I'm me and that's enough. There's the other perspective of getting tools that we can use, and human design provides a lot of tools. But I think that within the system, there's so many different moving parts. It's hard to find those tools. It's hard to find the essence of it. And so what I want to do is I want to start to do videos, and not necessarily long videos, but just videos where we're talking about different energies of empowerment. And these could be gates, but talking about them in a different way where we're not really going into the I always have a tendency to lean into logic because I have a lot of logic, but I also have abstract too. And so I feel like we could do it from an abstract perspective where we have more of an experiential energy, more of a how can I live my life with this? Because a lot of times, and I've mentioned this before, is human design is it's a tool or it's knowledge or it's interesting or it's fun, but it's not lived. And this is where I want to do something that allows people to use it to live their life, to be in an interaction with somebody, and instead of letting them railroad you, or instead of feeling disempowered by the conversation, instead of feeling a certain way because that interaction left you feeling a certain way, instead you feel something different because you know that this is not part of you, this is them. And so you're changing the energy in a way where you feel okay. You don't walk away just completely crushed because somebody said or did something. In fact, you don't care so much about what people think. That's one of the biggest things, not to care so much about what people think. That's not easy. It's a journey. So you get all these types of things that you have more strength, you have more resilience, you have more energy to believe in yourself. Ultimately, the more empowered you feel about yourself, the easier the changes that we're going through will be because you have the resilience, you have the strength, and you feel like you can take on what comes in the world because you are in this life to live, to be in the moment, to be in your body, to be in life. Your body knows what you need. And the more we look at that as another tool to use, where our body can tell us so many different things. Your body is the GPS. It's got an internal GPS that will take you to where you need to be, to the gifts that are for you. And so many times we're flowing in somebody else's flow, and now it's time to flow in your own. And so that is the other types of videos I want to start adding in. And I will slowly unfold them as I can make them. I don't want to rush anything. I just want to have this conversation so that people will understand that I might get into more in-depth videos about the world energy, but I also do plan on doing something to kind of get away from that type of energy as well, because I think we all need a break sometimes to start to feel good. So no matter what happens, we can still move through it with empowerment and resilience. And that's literally what we need right now. So that's what I wanted to say. And I hope you are having a good day, and I will be back soon. Until next time, take care. Bye for now.